Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2 and I'm back again with another, misadventure of sorts. I was on my way to Maryland and I actually had to make a stop because women's bladders are much smaller than men's, of course. And I went to a local BP. There should be a joke in there somewhere. And I get my tank filled, and there was an older gentleman behind me who had really long wavy hair, and he wanted to go to the restroom too. Well, the women's restroom was out of order. I thought, go figure. But I went in, and he was behind me, and he asked one of the clerks, he said, well, how long has this particular individual been in the restroom? It was occupied, of course. And the clerk said, well, he's been in there for 5 minutes, maybe longer. And then I looked at her, raised my eyebrow rather quizzically, and I said, did he fall in? And he had been in there a little bit longer than that. And then I became concerned, and I said, did he die? And then, of course, I let out this really nervous laugh. Nobody else was laughing about that, but I'm hopeful that this individual was taken care of because he was in there a long, long time, but I had to keep moving forward. And I thought that Ohio was a very long state. Pennsylvania is long too, but Virginia is very short, and Maryland is not bad considering driving time. And I arrived at Bright Star's place at about 1 a.m. in the morning, and I just kind of meander up to her door thinking, okay, she'll answer, and I press the doorbell. Nothing. So I thought, oh yeah, okay, try again. Nothing. I realize what time it is. I look at my watch. It's 1 a.m. Well, give or take 1:30-ish. I thought, I'll sleep in my car, no big deal. It's freezing cold because fall weather has just started to kick in, of course, and weather's getting a little bit more frigid. And I can sleep in my car, no problem, so, big deal. I went to sleep. I slept until about 6 a.m. Typically, I wake up at 4 because I go to work at 4. My circadian rhythm has adjusted to that. But I decided to ring her doorbell again, and still no answer. And I thought, well, maybe they forgot completely. I thought that maybe they weren't home when I had arrived, that something had happened. And I looked around, and I became really scared because the neighborhood just wasn't really giving me good vibes at all. I felt completely overwhelmed. And I had everything together. I had everything packed and ready, even the costume that I wanted to wear, which would have been Galco-chan. And I'm going to get to why I had that reaction here in a minute, but I became very afraid, and my fear got the better of me, so I thought, I'm not going to stick around. I should have had her phone number. I should have knocked on the door, and I didn't do any of these things. Sometimes I'm very impulsive, and I don't mean to be, but I'm still learning quite a few things, and at least now I know, and I won't make the same mistake again, because I'm actually going to be moving to North Carolina. I don't know when, but my family's there. I don't have anybody here, and I love Indiana, don't get me wrong, but there's really not a whole awful lot for me to do in Indiana. And I have those two options in front of me, which would be either Full Sail or ESL, and both would be great. Some of the programs, if you choose a particular program, will actually pay, and the amount of money that you get is more than enough, and it's substantially better than a lot of jobs that you would get over here in the States. I hate to say that, but I've been looking into it. I can't really find that much, but I'm going to look into that later on in the week. I'm going to keep doing my research because it's something that I've always wanted to do. I know I could probably do both, actually. I could probably do that, and when I return, the program from Full Sail is always going to be there, and I'm actually going to post this online, but my latest drawings, and I'm very pleased with how my dragon came out, actually, because normally I can't draw any creatures whatsoever. I love the way Jensen came out looking, and he looks cute. He's fierce as well. He's, you know, not all cuddly, and dragon being cuddly, yeah, right, but he is a good luck dragon, and he is the pet of Grandma Tita, who is long since deceased, and she's on the other side in the ether, and she knows quite a bit of what's going on in the ether. But the story itself, it's about the underground, or the mafia, and how my main character, Ricardo, he's actually the kingpin, and he's a theurgic cleric, and he has all these new and old methodologies of enchantments that he works with, and you know, he does old school alchemy, like from cauldron, or and then he'll scry, like a lot of the mystics did and still do today. But it's very interesting. His wife is a mage, his daughter's a witch, and his son is a wizard. And they're all a magic family, and it was in their blood, so it comes naturally. So I've always wanted to do that. And then it deals with the departed, as well as the creatures that come to ask for their help and get involved with this supernatural battle of the universe, or I should say the multiverses, are at stake. Yeah, because the Illuminati has gone mad with power in this particular script, and no one has ever taken on that subject before. I don't know why. I don't care. I'm going to do it anyway. Hopefully I will live long enough to see this done. But other than that, I'm not angry with myself over what happened. What happened. It's alia jacta est, as the Latin saying goes. So I actually told my friend, I said, "Hey, Bright Star, don't feel bad." And she she was actually more angry about it than I was. I wasn't even I was frustrated. I actually cried when, you know, I thought, oh, they've forgotten me, they're not home, etc., etc., etc. Where her mother's in Florida taking care of their brother, who had an accident, so she wasn't there. It was just a lot of differing factors that were lined up against me. Usually I'm very fortunate, but this was just bad luck all the way around, and I've now know what it's like to be on the receiving end of really horrible, terrible, atrocious fortune, but normally everything works out for me and there are no issues. But beyond that, I can say that I'm not angry. I'm a little bit frustrated over how inept I was at my planning skills, but now I've learned, and I won't do that same thing ever again. So 2018, I'm going to go to Morphicon, which will be in August, and it'll be much better than whoever was going to be at this one. I really don't mind. I don't care. It's not that big of a deal. What's done is done. And yeah, I feel kind of bad about it, but things are going to look up. Things are looking better for me. I've got two things I'm looking forward to. One is the Hound Hustle, which will be my 4th 5K of the year. I'm not running it. I am walking it. And then I am going to be going to Chicago to see Tupperware Remix and Ninja Sex Party. So I'm really, really excited about that, because I got a huge crush on Dan Avedon. I mean, I have somebody in my life right now, so it's better that way. I'd rather him find somebody, well, if he's meant to, then he will. I mean, I don't know why people make such a big deal out of, oh, you're going to have somebody. You can have friends and still be happy. You can still have a very rich and fulfilling life without being tied down to somebody. I'm just saying. Think about that. Anyway, that's all I got to say for now, and that's my little misadventure. uh, yeah, my little detail on this is hopefully, yeah, this is gonna go down in history as something. the the whole world is, if you're a man, you know what I'm talking about. The whole world is your canvas. You can go to the bathroom wherever you want. If you're a woman, it's not the same thing. Unfortunately, when I had stopped at Bright Star's place, I had to pee, and I thought, okay, it's 1 in the morning. No one's gonna care. No one will see me. And I squatted in her yard. Bright Star, I'm sorry. I just had to. I thought, my kidneys, they're going to blow up if I don't pee. I will die. Do you want me to die? No. But I had to go to the bathroom so bad. And there was nowhere else for me to go. So I just thought, yeah, I'll just take a whiz here. So I did, like a man, and I didn't regret 1 second of it. But nice thing about this trip was I got to see a lot of really beautiful sights. The night didn't really matter. I saw some pretty weird stuff though. When I was going through, I saw a lot of just weird things I can't explain, like orbs. No, seriously, I did. I'm not insane. I saw orbs. I saw some filaments of light. I've seen these filaments of light before. I actually drew them. I put them up on Facebook. I had Osna's group talk about it, and I don't know what they are, but they follow me sometimes. They appear out of nowhere. I thought, why am I seeing this again? But they come in different forms. One of them that I saw actually almost resembled Navi from Zelda. Yeah, seriously. They don't come from our plane. They come from another plane of existence. How do I know that? I've talked to a friend of mine who is very well read on all things metaverse and multiverse and just everything that goes into the supernatural or the ethereal. And I told him one time about all these strange things and multi-dimensional creatures I've come across, and he's like, they're attracted to you. I said, huh? He said, your energy. I said, well, that explains a lot, because apparently I'm a highly energetic being. And I can't help that. I mean, I've always been like that. I'm full of light, and there's like moths to a flame. They just hone in on me. They can't talk to me. I can't hear anything. I'm not clairaudient or clairvoyant. Wish I were sometimes, because I would love to talk to some of the dearly departed and just hear their stories, because, you know, I like our worlds, don't get me wrong, but I know there's a party going on up there, and I want to be invited to it. I want to go. Well, I know I will eventually, but, you know, I'm going to live in the now, and when I go, I'll be ready. But yeah, that was kind of it's not really morbid. That I don't think saying that is morbid. It's just, que sera, sera, as this song goes. What else? Doing quite a bit, writing quite a bit, working on Society of the Blue Moon, which is what I spoke on earlier. I'm not going to post that on Blogger because I don't want people taking my ideas. It is an ambitious project. Then I'm going to be writing Bollywood or Bust and Overjewing It, which is a story that came from the corners of my mind, thinking what would happen if I really overdid things and I was male and I wanted to marry a nice Jewish girl. And then, you know, I came up with that. I haven't written it yet, though, but it's going to be a rom-com. And it takes along the same lines of, if you've seen Zootopia, yeah, it's kind of like that. But there's another script I wrote called Must Be Jewish. And, you know, you sense a theme here. I am by proxy, so that should be close enough, right? Come on. Just throw me a bone. I almost said throw, not tro. Throw. It's the Polish coming out. Throw me a bone. Throw me a bone here. Throw it. Throw it. Come on, throw. Dzień dobry. Yeah, that's still Polish coming out of me, and I don't know where it's that. It's always there, but that accent, dat accent. But that's all I gotta say. So until next time, live long and prosper. Ciao tutti.